A very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Chuni. Our top stories this week. His Majesty the King confers Tashikada to National Council members. Bhutan This Foundation striving to break taboos and stigma and normalize menstruation in the Nanilis. And the country to receive its first batch of health specialists trained in country. Coinciding with the Lord Buddha's Parinirvana, His Majesty the King conferred Tashikada to the newly elected National Council members at the Tashichozo.
Among the members receiving Ta were the National Council's new chairperson Tashidoji, Deputy Chairperson Jimmy Wangchuk, eminent members, 3 other incumbent members from Bumta, Phintsi and Shamgang, and the 15 newly elected members of the parliament. His Majesty the King reappointed the 5 eminent members for another term in office. The third National Council election was held on 28th April this year. As the National Council is a house of continuity, its newly elected members joined office on 9th May. Following the Ta ceremony, His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Gyaltsin graced the Namgyaltongche prayers at the Kunre of the Tashichozong, presided over by His Holiness the Jekembo. Hundreds of people gathered at the courtyard of Tashichozong to receive blessings from the Netichudu Tongdal unfurled for public veneration. Sacred relics or natans were also displayed to mark Dushengazum. Dushengazum, or Lord Buddha's Parinirvana, is observed on the 15th day of the 4th month of the Bhutanese calendar. Today is the day the Buddha was conceived, born and subdued evil, gained enlightenment and attained nirvana. Pub Game for BBS News.
While the death toll from an outbreak of Nipah virus in India's southern state has become a global cause of concern, the Health Ministry advises people not to panic. The ministry has a good surveillance system in place to detect and report such viruses should it infect people and animals. The World Health Organization calls Nipah an emerging zoonotic virus, meaning it is transmitted from animals to humans.
Nipah virus is known to infect both humans and animals, with fruit bats being natural hosts. Fruit bats are flying mammals that live in dense forests in Africa, Europe, Australia, and Asia. Nipah virus cannot be transmitted through air. Instead, it is transmitted through contact with the infected bats, animals, and humans. However, the Health Ministry says the risk of bats transmitting it to animals and humans in Bhutan is very low.
In Bhutan, we do not have these date palms, and we do not have the habit of tapping this date palm for juice or making this wine out of it. So because of that, many of the older outbreaks had started in that way, and the only thing we should be very careful is that bats are there, and bats might contaminate your fruits through their urine and excreta.
Once infected, a person develops flu-like symptoms of fever, headache, muscle pain, vomiting, dizziness, drowsiness, and sore throat. Currently, there are no drugs or vaccines available to specifically treat or prevent Nipah virus infection, but a routine and thorough cleaning and disinfection of pig farms may be effective in animals. And maintaining good health hygiene may reduce the risk of infection in people. Washing hands and fruits before eating will prove beneficial in combating the virus.
Basically, at this moment, we advise the people to emphasize on good hand hygiene, avoid taking fruits that are pecked by animals or destroyed or that have fallen on the ground and all those, avoid eating all those things. If you eat fruits and all those things, ensure that it's not only for this, but all the time ensure that you wash that very thoroughly.
Nipah virus was first detected in Malaysia in 1999. Sonampem for BBS News.
Bhutan is declared as the SAARC Cultural Capital for this year. The opening ceremony for the second series of SAARC Cultural Capital and Handicraft exhibition was in the capital. The first series was hosted by Afghanistan in 2015. The declaration would provide SAARC country members to exchange different cultures in order to promote regional unity and to generate income.
For the next 1 year, Bhutanese can enjoy and experience various cultures from SAARC countries. During this period, the city and the SAARC Cultural Center will organize a series of year-long cultural events from 8 countries.
Through the SAARC Cultural Capital, we intend to give an opportunity to member states to showcase their cultural aspect and even other culture-related features and heritage, where city can make economic benefit, cultural, social. We have so many intermediate programs, which I mentioned, film festival, food and art exhibition.
The event focuses on showcasing the rich culture of the SAARC region to the rest of the world. The program will close in May next year. Samtin Dolkar, BBS News.
Stigma and taboo around menstruation remain largely untouched. Menstruation is the big elephant in the room. Everyone's aware of it but avoids starting conversation around it. The situation is grimmer in nunneries, where period is widely believed to be dirty, impure and something to be embarrassed of. The Bhutan Nuns Foundation is striving to break taboos and stigma and normalize menstruation in the nunneries, and the task has not been easy.
It's a busy day at the Silica Nunnery. Special prayers going on every day to mark the auspicious Sagadao. Anitenziangi scurries around, setting table as lunchtime nears. The 18-year-old nun joined Silica Nunnery 4 years ago. It was also the year she got her first period. She was 14 then and was totally unprepared for it.
First time on the Marshalla, the ngachi builder the Anzumgi Kolimishu Nala, the na anim disuchica de watapchi de Shichilla.
Her story mirrors experiences of other nuns. Menstruation is a taboo subject. It's hardly talked about in open. Young girls blush at the mention of the word period. They're taught to hide it. Adinam Gilhamo, an assistant program officer with Bhutan Nuns Foundation. She is in charge of raising awareness on menstruation in nunneries.
It's very challenging. At the first time when we give them a training on the reproductive health, because it is needed by them, they are very shy. Yeah? You know, they say, oh, this type of, when we show them a picture of the reproductive health, they say, oh my God, we can look at that picture, because they are so shy, and we say, these are needed for you all. And when we talk of the menstruation, oh, so shameless, yeah. And even to, you know, to buy the pad also, it's very challenging. Even to dry also, they are shy. They just hide in somewhere.
Since 2011, the Bhutan Nuns Foundation, with support from UNICEF, has been creating awareness on menstruation in nunneries. It has helped make period a comfortable subject, but there's still a long road ahead. Discussing menstruation is even more challenging in nunneries headed by monks.
When they have a male teacher in the class, when they have a cramp or when they have a menstruation, they'll just tell like saying, I have a headache. Yeah, you know, and I have a back pain, can I go out? Even for the male teacher also, they are facing problem because they can't understand what is happening with that nun. So most of the parents are telling us, oh, you know, suddenly our nuns get sick.
Taboos and stigma around period are what inhibits open discussion of menstruation. According to 2017 Knowledge, Attitude and Practices, CAP survey on menstrual hygiene management of adolescent schoolgirls and nuns, conducted by the Department of School Education, 1/3 of girls thought they must not enter a shrine or temple during menstruation. 21% thought women are vulnerable to possession by an evil spirit during menstruation. 31% of schoolgirls and 50% of nuns reported being ridiculed when in classes during their period. Most of the nuns also believe bathing and drinking water during period causes heavy flow, which are not true. Until recently, Anitenzi Yanki believed in all these myths and misconceptions around period. Not anymore. Increased awareness is fundamental to breaking stigma around periods. Sharing accurate information about period with religious leaders is indispensable for influencing social norms and religious restrictions on women and girls. Tishinongmo, PBS News.
A windstorm recently affected 12 houses and crops in Dalagiwak in Chukha. The windstorm, like never before, surprised the people in the villages.
Among the 12 damaged houses, Pema Dukpa's house is one of them. Luckily, he was at his brother's house during the incident. Some CGI sheets were stuck on the tree branches. Today, people are salvaging whatever little they can.
The windstorm has not only blown off the roof, but it has equally damaged the interior parts. The wind was so strong that the roofs were flown into the nearby forest. I'm not in a position to repair it now. I don't know from where I will get the assistance.
We have never seen such a strong wind before. This sudden disaster has damaged my home too. I have no place to stay now. It has not only damaged the houses, but fields too.
The Dunkak and Gilg officials immediately visited the affected houses.
12 households in Dalagiok have been damaged by the windstorm. Zonda and Dungpa were very concerned about the issue. Dungpa and the team also visited the affected houses in the morning itself. Along with insurance officials, we assessed the affected houses and sent the report to Gedu RICBL office. Those who have insured their houses will receive the compensation.
The windstorm has also affected the primary school at Tashilakha. Maize fields and orange trees were flattened. During the incident, a 24-year-old pregnant woman was also struck by lightning, but she is in a stable condition at Fensiling Hospital. Fallen trees have also blocked the highway between Gedu and Kamji. For Sonam Benjor in Chukha, Samtin Dalkar, PBS News.
The country's first college, Sherapsi in Kaunung, marked its golden jubilee recently. Father William Joseph Mackey initially established it as a public school in 1968.
Sherapsi, meaning the peak of the learning, has come a long way since its inception. After it was upgraded to a college from a public school, its first batch of 30 students graduated in 1986. Today, Sherapsi College is one of the biggest colleges in the country with over 1,800 students. As part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations, former professors and alumni of the college were also recognized for their contribution to the growth of the college. Some professors had served as long as 35 years at Sherapsi.
The campus has become very beautiful. A lot of academic activities are also taking place. It was initially a small campus with a few buildings, few students, few courses. Now it has become a marvelous institution. I am really happy to see these changes. I never thought Sherapsi would become such a beautiful and active campus.
In terms of facilities also, we have come a long way. Most of the facilities that were built on campus were meant for schools. So we had a lot of shortages and difficulties. But with support from the Royal Government of Bhutan, we have been able to improve most of these facilities. So today we have state-of-the-art classrooms, we have research centers, we have conference halls, lecture theaters, so which caters to the need and expectations of our students today. We are also technologically more advanced. We have high internet facilities.
Hundreds of students graduate every year with bachelor's degree in different fields. Besides the academic excellence, the college gives equal emphasis to teaching social values and life skills to its students,
including undergraduate programs in arts and humanities, social science, physical science, life science, and computer and mathematics. We also offer honors program, a postgraduate diploma in English. We are also helping a master's program in Yunfla Centenary College, and we also offer tailor-made programs in Triklam Namja and student leadership programs. So altogether, we are offering almost around 25 different programs as of today, compared to what we had long time back.
After half a century of shaping the destiny of many young Bhutanese and producing some of the finest individuals in the country, the journey as the peak of learning continues. In the coming years, Sharapsa College plans to introduce more undergraduate and postgraduate courses. For Sring Zamin Kanglung, Kiladim, PBS News.
The number of horses in the country is decreasing as the tradition of rearing it disappears. Horses are often seen straight in the wild and in urban areas as well.
With increasing access to motorable roads, rearing horses for transportation is gradually becoming irrelevant. Statistics with the National Horse Breeding Farm in Bumthang show that with about 27,900 horses in the country in 2004, the number has dropped to about 18,900. People of Chumi Gyeok in Bumthang traditionally reared herd of horses to be hired by orange exporters for transporting oranges. Now, the demand for the animal has declined.
We are only left with some orchards in Sure where we need horses for transporting oranges. All the other orchards are now connected through farm routes. In the past, we used to get demands for transporting cardamom and oranges in Gelipu for about 2.5 months. Now, this is a thing of the past.
With changing times, the National Horse Breeding Farm is working towards transforming the usage of horses from traditional load-carrying purpose towards more lucrative ones. The farm says with increasing number of tourists visiting the country, the demand for horses for riding purposes will increase in the next decade or so.
In the past, Chipins in the villages were famed for riding horses while delivering messages to fellow villagers from administrative centers. However, with modernization, people don't have much regard to raising horses. Nevertheless, if we take India as an example, even in the face of development, there is a huge demand for horses now. There are horses that cost from 300,000 Newton to 7 million Newton. So with changing times and changing mindset of people in the future, we believe the reverence and demand for horses will definitely be there like in the past.
The farm currently has more than 70 horses that are of 4 different breeds. However, limited pasture land for the horses in the farm and other human resource issues are affecting the proper functioning of the farm. The farm currently has about 50 acres of pasture land and 16 staff.
So far, even if the country has worked towards conserving and developing horses, no research has been conducted to study the quality of different breeds of horses in the country. Likewise, there are no experts who are qualified to carry out such studies. So, we think the current pool of human resource we have at our disposal is not sufficient to shoulder this national objective. However, our ministry has told us that we will be trained and provided necessary knowledge to handle all this.
The farm has established 2 farmers group that raises local horse breed at Bumdaling in Tashanti and Tandigang in Bumthang. It is already working towards encouraging and promoting ecotourism through horse riding among other activities. For now, against changing times and lifestyles, initiatives to keep alive the traditional animal husbandry are being taken. All is not lost for those people who still own horses to this day. For Kipcho in Bumthang, Samton Dolkar, BBS News.
Shortage of health specialists in the country will not be a problem anymore. The first batch of health specialists are expected to arrive by June this year, while more are being trained. The health specialists are trained at the Kesargebu University of Medical Sciences of Bhutan in Thimphu. The 8 specialists will be placed at Gelepu and Mongar regional hospitals.
8 health specialists completed their examinations today and will join the service soon. This was shared by health officials while releasing this year's health journal in Thimphu. The health experts first joined the university in June 2014. They were also sent to Gangaram Hospital in India for specialization for a month. Now they will serve as surgeons, gynecologists and anesthetists.
Over the last 4 years, 8 of our residents have now finally reached their final year and completed their final year exam today. And these 8 residents belong to 5 different disciplines. They will be graduating by June 30 this year, and once graduated, they will be actually placed and working in the regional hospitals at both Gilbu and Mungar, therefore addressing the shortage of specialists in the country. So these 8 doctors are graduating as a specialist.
There are 23 future specialists undergoing the training at the university. 13 more will join the university soon. As of today, the university has 8 doctorate disciplines. 2 more disciplines in medicines and psychiatric will be included in July this year. This is Sringdandu for BBS News.
Holy sites are often conceived to be clean apart from the spiritual purity it holds. But when it comes to Samazinkar Dharna Ugin Gurune in Thimphu, this conception seems wrong, as our reporter Samtin Dolkar finds out.
More commonly known as Tandin Ne, it is the only sacred location within Thimphu town where Guru Rinpoche is believed to have meditated. But around this holy site, it is common to see garbage scattered. The most common waste are empty alcohol bottles, cigarette butts, and contraceptives. With only 3 monks in the temple, as much as cleaning the area is a concern, it is challenging too. To the rescue came about 300 students from Yangchifo High Secondary School who cleaned the area today.
Sheda sumrabe the Chinese tanga haga thokor cham chi chanrabe jasumaso ya nyegi guda julu te aninga chigi chanrada dimbe jama sundinga chage chilandibe ani toram shushin is shuzula.
He added the litter bugs are not the ones visiting the temple but those who come to the area during leisure.
Haga gende la nye sunalu chanrada dimbe mebdo chibe wachin ngachiri gyakhabnalu the Loshu Tatu Male, Chachu Tisumapo, Nida Mugisu Tinigi, the Yakabomle Tindibe, Anigi, Santa de Mejagobi Seshunila.
Following the cleaning campaign, the students collected about 70 sacks of waste. For now, the area is swept clean, but for how long before its sanctity is put at risk is the immediate question many ask. Samtin Dolkar, BBS News.
People of Wanaka in Najagyog in Paru, who used to grow potatoes, are now growing cabbage. Late blighted less price for potatoes at the auction yard in Phuntsling last year has discouraged many from growing potatoes. Farmers have cultivated potatoes only enough to produce seed for next year.
Spraying insecticide, this is 54-year-old Tekang. Though insects have been attacking his cabbage, it is better than growing potatoes. He has been cultivating potatoes in almost every field he owns. But beginning this year, his family chose cabbage over potato. Despite working in farm for over 30 years, Tekang feels helpless when diseases like late blight raid his farms.
We used to cultivate potatoes here last year, but it was infected by late blight and we harvested very less potatoes. Potatoes were very small in size and we did not fetch good price. We got around 500 Newton per bag. So this year we discussed and decided to grow cabbage. I hope cabbage will fetch us good price.
Like him, many other fellow farmers have cultivated cabbage with the hope for better yield and better price. However, farmers are worried that the limited water supply in the fields and pests infesting on cabbages could hinder the production.
There is that green bug. After it has infected the plant, a plant-like thing comes and then the pest never goes away. No matter what kind of pesticide we use, they won't die, especially when it is sunny. Only rain stops them.
It comes in large number when it is sunny. No insecticides work on that. When we spray insecticides, insects would fly away. After some time, it comes back. We are yet to get water for irrigation. It is a problem when it is sunny.
But some farmers have cultivated potatoes just for self-consumption and for seeds for next year. Since cabbages and potatoes are the main cash crops for the people of Wanaka, farmers are hoping to cultivate potatoes next year. For Sangachazum in Paro, Pup Game for BBS News.
This is all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us.